Hello everyone, exBethelite here. We're going to touch on something that I think needs to be talked about, and that is sex and relationships amongst former Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, if you were raised as a Jehovah's Witness, then more than likely you have very little sex education. Unless you got it in school, you have very little sexual education. We'll look at everything here. As far as the religion is concerned, your parents may have literally not told you anything with respects sex. They may have not told you the basic things that you would need to know about sex. As a matter of fact, that religion is it's really repressive. You have people that are sexually repressed to the point of it having done damage to their psyche. So really then, you could be coming out of that religion and your maturity, sexually wise, could possibly be that of a 15-year-old or a 20-year-old, I should say. 15, you shouldn't know very much about it anyway, but yeah, 20-year-old, and you may be 35 because you've been in a religion that has been repressing you sexually. There is a watchtower discussion that we had, and essentially the point was, this is a watchtower from some time ago, not that I've been anytime this is distracting here. I think I should do a video somewhere else, but yeah, so the watchtower discussion, the point of it was to guard your eyes, to not even look at a woman so as to have a passion for her. Now, the way that was applied is that it was applied literally. You were not to even so much as look at a woman in a way that would arouse you sexually. Now, if you are not married, and even if you are, but especially if you are not married, that is a very unpractical expectation for you to have, because it is very difficult not to look. But that's how strict it was. That is how strict the religion was. So coming out of the religion, how do you get caught up with everybody else? Well, one thing you have to take into consideration, that your social circle, not just your experience, but your social circle may be smaller than your average person, because your family may be in the religion, and now that you left, they no longer want to speak with you. Your friends may be in the religion, and now that you left, they may not want to associate with you. So you could be starting from scratch. You're out of the cult. You're starting from scratch. You don't have friends or much family, let alone a relationship. That could be dangerous, because that could lead to you or I jumping into the first thing that comes our way. The first relationship that comes our way, we may settle. However, we have to think about the advantages that we have. Believe it or not, we do have some advantages. And one of those advantages that we have is the ability to talk to people in almost any setting. We all did it, even if we didn't want to do it. We would go up to a person anywhere and not only give them a tract or a magazine or something like that, we would follow it up with some kind of a discussion. So in reality, this is cool. I didn't even know that this was here. So you have steps here. And I guess you ride your skateboard all through here. So in reality, you are accustomed to speaking to a lot of different people. And we meet people virtually anywhere that we go. Let's not go down there. We meet people virtually anywhere that we go. That is an advantage that you have that most people do not. There are very few people that literally were brought up walking up to strange people's doors and holding discussion. So use that to your advantage. I don't think that there's anything wrong with using an ability or a skill or an attribute that you have to your advantage. So just like we would go up and speak to people, we're talking about trying to not just get in a relationship, but make friends also. Just like we would go up and talk to people, generally, we had a current event in mind or an interesting topic in mind when we would go to the door. So let's use the same concept. And that is, you walk up to someone. You have something that is interesting on your mind. Just politely, briefly say hello and maybe mention the topic. Ask them what they think about it. And then here is the difference. This is for men and women. Here is the difference. After you ask the person what they think about whatever the topic is, then you tell them what you think about the topic instead of going into Watchtower's spiel. Instead of going into Watchtower's view of everything, you then tell them what your view is. And then, if they have an interest in your view, and you are able to go back and forth in discussion, and the discussion is going well, just like you would ask for their information so that you can come back and continue the discussion, you can just ask the woman for her phone number. You're enjoying the discussion. You'd like to talk more. Is there a way I can get your number so I can call you later? You start doing things like that, and you open yourself up to the public, and you open yourself up to meet people that you may not have been comfortable with before. let's look at this, because who does this look like? Tell me that that does not look like Donald Trump. I understand that's off topic. Now, so let's go back over what we touched on, and that is, you as a former Jehovah's Witness have something that nobody else does, not very many people that I know of, and that is the skill, the ability. Now, how am I going to get back down? The skill or the ability to talk to anyone, anywhere. What method did you use to do it before? You would use generally current events or a topic in general that everyone knew a little something about, maybe the economy or whatever the case may be. However, the key is have it be a topic that's interesting to you. Don't go up to a woman or women, don't go up to a man and use as a conversation starter a topic that you care nothing about. And then that person tells you what they think about the topic, and the ball's in your court, and you don't know what to say in return because you have no interest in what you just brought to this person's attention. So think of something that's interesting to you that may also be interesting to other people. Or ask questions. Take an interest in what they're interested in. However, the point that I'm driving home here is that when you bring up the conversation topic, do the same thing that you've been trained to do your whole life. I mean, literally every week we were trained to go up and talk to people, except the difference is where Watchtower takes over. You take over. Topic of conversation, where Watchtower would say, do you want a Bible study? Erase that. Fill that in with what you think. Back and forth conversation. Hey, this was a nice discussion. You mind if I get your number? We could talk a little later. If the discussion goes really well, there may be coffee shop, restaurant around. Hey, you hungry? We can go grab a bite to eat real quick and we can talk a little bit more. I'm enjoying the discussion. That easy. It's that easy. Now, dealing with rejection. We have also been trained to deal with rejection probably better than most people. We've done it our whole life. Go up to doors and you don't know what the response is going to be, but at the end of the discussion, what was it? Have a good day. And you just go about your business. You go to the next door. Now, I'm not advocating you going and doing what you see online sometimes, and that is men going up to every woman that you see and trying to get this woman's phone number and making a game out of it. I don't advocate doing that. I don't advocate being a player. Unless you would like someone to do the same thing to you, I wouldn't go about doing things like that to people. However, you meet people, you see people that are interesting to you. For some reason, this person is either attractive, this person seems to be interesting to you. Then go up and make conversation. And really, you can talk to anybody. Women, I don't know, I hear people saying something to the effect of guys don't like it when women approach them. There has never been a time in my life, and I don't know of too many other people who have had a woman come up to them, make interesting conversation, and it offends them. If a woman comes up to me and says, hello, how are you? How's your day going? I'm like, oh, my day's going well. How's yours? You know what I mean? Like, that's something that doesn't happen very often, but I think it's a good thing. The only difference for the ladies sometimes is you use the same tactic or skill, not tactic, skill, and that is conversation topic. Listen to what that person says. Tell them what you think about that topic. And oftentimes, if the guy is interested, he will ask for your phone number. I can't imagine you going up and speaking to a guy, this guy getting comfortable in speaking to you, and then he's afraid to ask for your phone number. You see women complain about guys who look at them but can't build up the courage to go and say anything. Why don't they go and make conversation themselves? You can go and speak to the person. Maybe they're shy. If this is a really big issue, either of you could start a conversation. Does this guy look like me at all? Either of you could start a conversation, get comfortable, and if you as the woman don't feel comfortable saying, I enjoy the discussion, let's exchange numbers and talk later, just let the guy do it. I think the guy will do it, especially if he's comfortable with you now. And I'm not saying you have to do it, and I know there's people that feel religiously that women ought not go and speak to men, but the problem that I find is that a woman will dress very attractively, but then attract. Looks like the ceiling's ready to fall down in here. But then attract all the wrong people. And sometimes just walking in front of someone wearing something attractive isn't enough. Why not just make conversation with the ones that you're actually interested in? And then let them make the move from there if you don't feel comfortable. I just can't imagine a guy being approached by a woman and she's making interesting conversation and he's just put off by it. Oh, how dare you speak to me? Oh, you know what I mean? It just doesn't even make sense. So this is something that we can do. And in dealing with rejection, we have always done the same thing, and that is be polite and then just don't bother the person anymore. Have a good day. Sorry to bother you. No big deal. Nobody's dead. It's not that big of a deal. It's more than likely going to be a lot more effective than what we may give it credit for. And you can use this type of thing with anybody. A guy could speak to other guys anywhere you see them. If you have to rebuild your entire social structure, there's no reason for you to go to a social event by yourself and only speak to women. You could speak to other guys, and for ladies, it's the same with you, I think. You know, I know I've gone to a bar that played music and what have you, and on my way into the bar, I'm talking to the guys to my right. So how is this place? What do you guys think of it? Then I get in, talk to a couple guys in there, you know. How's their liquor here? What drink you normally get? You know, just making conversation, making friends with everyone everywhere, because we have the ability to talk to everyone. Ladies, comment down below. What I'm saying may not translate to the ladies as far as using the same top things that we were doing before, the conversation topic, and then your thoughts instead of Watchtower's thoughts, and being able to speak to everybody, make friends with everybody. Now, here's something that we want to be careful of, and that is having been repressed sexually for so long that you leave Watchtower and then go out and, you just want to have sex. Now, I am not coming from a place of judgment or telling you what you should or should not do. However, the concept of casual sex, hearing that as a former witness, may sound a little bit more simplistic than what it actually, in reality, is. And the reason for that is, people's emotions. You're dealing with not just you, but another person. So you have people that may want to hook up with this guy, hook up with that guy, and have sex. Same with guys. The guys may want to just hook up with this woman and hook up with that woman. And the reason why some may take this approach is because they have been involved in a religion that was so repressive and so controlling that they don't want a relationship, because to them, anything that seems too structured could be repressive, including a relationship even. So some people don't want a relationship. They just want to, maybe meet up and have sex here or there. I'm just going to say some things to be careful of. And one thing to be careful of is diseases. There are all kinds of diseases out there. I have spoken to people who I didn't know had anything until they told me. Now, these are ex-witnesses. And they said, yeah, they had fun. They left the religion and they had a ball, according to them. But now they have multiple STDs. I have spoken to people, back in the day, I thought you just got one. I have spoken to people that have multiple STDs that they've gotten. And you can get this not just from casual sex, but you can definitely get it from casual sex. So the concept I'm thinking of is it would be horrible for a person to leave a controlling religion, want to just experience a little freedom, and end up with something permanent that affects them to where they can maybe never have a normal relationship. So be careful with respects diseases and whatnot. I say we should come back at like 12 o'clock midnight and walk through all that there. So yes, be careful with respects the diseases, and then also this casual sex thing. This could be like playing with fire. And you don't have a casual fire in the middle of your living room. I mean, like literally on the floor in your living room. You don't set a fire. That bad boy is not casual, because that fire is hard to control. Once it hits something that ignites it, it's ignited. And then it goes everywhere. So when you're dealing with passion, when you're dealing with sex, guys fall for this all the time. You think, I'm going to sleep with this woman, and then I'm just going to go about my business. I'm trying to get some. I'm about to sleep with this woman. And then it's going to be whatever after that. It's not that simple. You sleep with this woman, she may say, oh no, you mine now. And just because you're a male and you're physically stronger than she is, don't mean nothing. There's all kinds of things that could happen if you up and decide, now that you done slept with her, you ain't going. And I don't care if you had the discussion beforehand. I'm not trying to get into nothing. You know what I mean? We can just go do this and or that and then it's whatever. You may have had the discussion, but once you done had sex with this woman and you think, oh, that's it? Oh, you gonna sleep with me and then that's it now? Have fun trying to explain that to somebody that's for whatever reason gotten attached. Have fun trying to explain that. That woman might tear up your car. She may bust out your windows. She may call your job. Who knows what might happen? You might find some nice woman that you actually want to be with, and then this woman may stalk you on Facebook or wherever and decide to try to break up any relationship that you have. And the same goes for men. Women may go up and think, this dude said he just wanna get some, you know what, I'm gonna let him go ahead and get it. And think it's just over with after that. It's not that simple. You're dealing with a fire in an uncontrolled environment. Anything could happen after that. This dude may decide you mine now. This dude may literally have sex with you and then say something crazy to the effect. And I've heard women say that this has actually happened. That this guy has had sex with her and then afterwards said, if you try to leave me, I will kill you, or something like that. Say something flat out crazy. I mean, you can't play with fire. So the whole casual sex thing of I'm just gonna meet somebody at the club, go somewhere, smash, that's gonna be that. That might happen, but when you're dealing with playing with fire, it very well may not happen. You might mess around and get set up and get robbed. Meeting up with people you don't know to go smash or whatever. You may end up with who knows what kind of disease. You may end up dealing with somebody that's underage. You may end up dealing with I kid you not, this stuff has been on television where people have gotten shot. They decide they're not gonna deal with somebody anymore. They're not gonna sleep with someone anymore. That person has waited outside their job and shot and killed them. Playing with fire, coming out of religion where you weren't aware of any of this, and then you come out and you just gonna go wild and wake up on anybody's couch or wake up on anybody's bed. You may end up with more than what you bargained for. So I'm not saying don't have fun, don't experience things. I'm just saying if you're going to play with fire, try to light the fire in a fireplace. You know, to me, you light a fire in a fireplace and that's more of a controlled environment. To me, a relationship on some level is somewhat of a controlled environment. You're not just sleeping with whoever you come across. There's some sort of relationship, even if the rules of the relationship is that this is nothing permanent, but this is someone you know. This is someone you spent time getting to know. You know this person. To me, that is at least some sort of a controlled environment where you somewhat know what you're getting involved with. Now, I have seen situations where people have sex with people that they don't even really like. And I don't think that they have any problems with either one catching feelings afterwards because they're having sex with people that they kind of both find each other somewhat ugly, but just a little bit attractive. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff people do. But I want people to be aware and think before you get out and just start sleeping with whoever and having threesomes and foursomes and who knows what all else. Wanting to just go buck wild. Guys wanting to go to the strip club and leave with whatever stripper and just wake up wherever. You may end up later on finding the right one. And it may be ruined because for a lady, you may have this guy who's wanting to fight anybody that tries to date you now because you done slept with him and now he hooked. So you find someone you really like and now this guy's trying to chase him away. Same with the guys, same with the fellas. You may sleep with some chick and she may be crazy and you find somebody you actually like and this chick is like, nuh-uh. And now you got to explain to this other person who this crazy whoever is. It's not even an ex. Now you got to explain that you done went around and had sex with who knows how many people. You know, or you got to explain to somebody that you have a venereal disease. So be careful. 937-789-4029. Ex Walk Hill Bethelite signing out.